Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of Cypress training. And today we'll talk about some of the basic things, how to proceed with a few uh, like element interaction, and we'll see. Um, so today agenda is I'll just a very high level agenda I'll mention here: element interaction. Okay, then validations using Mocha. Okay, so these two mainly we have for today. Uh, Validation, maybe, and introduction to. So we'll talk about briefly about Mocha, what it does, and as we discussed, Cypress comes in built with Mocha. Okay, so let's start. I'll open uh, where we left on day 1. So we see like we were able to install, and I hope you also able to install at your end. Let me know if you have any installation issue. Okay, we'll try to talk on those questions as well. So as we saw, let me do one thing. So npx cypress open. Okay, so what it does, it will open this Cypress, that test spec JavaScript file, which we can run in the Cypress. Okay, so let it run first. Waiting to open the Cypress. Yeah, here we are. So this is Cypress dashboard, and we have this. We can click and run. So Cypress will run the test. It will open google.com. What happened? Yeah, it's running. Yeah, almost done. Yeah. So uh, using this Cypress dashboard, we can have multiple JavaScript files, and which we can run by clicking on the dashboard. Okay, so here we see this what there is one test. Okay, it says one test, and the test name was navigate to a application, which we provided here, right? You remember? Uh, so all these it, and will introduce another term. So that's how we write test methods in Mocha. Okay, so all this comes with the Mocha, and this is the method name which we can see here. Okay, and this test is pass. And if you click here, you see the screenshots. You can it highlights element will receive. Okay, and if you want to rerun the test, you can just click here. It will run the test again, whatever you have in that test file. All right. All right. Now I want to do three things. Okay. So to do or this way, I want to open a URL. Okay, so like I want to navigate to Google. Okay, type something, search. Okay, search Cypress.io. All right, and then assert. Okay, so these assert means verify or assert or verify few things which we will do. So this simple test case, suppose you wrote navigate to that application, search few things, uh, and verify that it is the Cypress already displayed. Okay, I can go to this same file I can use. All right. Okay, so CY.widgets. So it this method uh, open that particular URL which we provide here. Now, then I want to, all right. So before that, let me tell you how we can identify the element. Okay. Uh, Swati is saying for me it's not showing those get codes in the output dashboard. You mean here or the Cypress where it runs? Okay, we'll see that your question. But before that, here you see the open selector playground. Okay, so if you click here, so suppose I want to uh, identify this. Okay, so uh, using this uh, element locator, we can say element locator in Cypress. If you just click and highlight the element where you want to uh, identify, suppose we want to enter something in this text box, right? So I can just, now you see we get cy dot get and that element. Okay, that we can copy. Okay, and there are various things it provides, so I can identify that element and click copy. So along with whatever it identify, it gives the command also, and that command I can go and paste it here. Okay, so this way Cypress query, so generally we say this is querying the elements on the page or document object model, right? And I now what I can do on this, I can type something. Okay, so suppose I want to type cypress.io, right? So let me save this and rerun this. If you see, I just saved and it may have started running the test. Okay, so there is a setting we can use like in cypress.json. So what is happening here? So whenever uh, you update your test script, Cypress always watch that what you are changing, and once you save, it will directly start running that your test whatever you updated. All right. So as we saw here, we just uh, added that line and saved, and it started running that. So it clicked here So it also highlight, if you see here, okay, it typed, so it's a typing, so it's a different way of uh, in particular call, it's passing the different characters. Okay, so let's not go to that place. Let's focus here. So we wrote this statement, and but I don't want to execute automatically whenever I update, okay, this file. I want, whenever I want to run, then what in that case, what I can do, we can open this cypress.json. Okay, so cypress.json is a kind of configuration file where we configure Cypress, how it should be have. Okay, so what I can do, I can add this property here, watch for file changes. Okay, this is like a JSON. Okay, so this property I added, I made it false, like don't run test whenever I update my test. Okay, whenever I want, I'll go and run. Okay, let's close this. And now suppose I want to search Cypress, and I save. This time it won't run the test. Okay, again I need to click here, and it'll start running the test. Okay, all right, so my test is passed, and we can see uh, what this Cypress is doing. Okay, this querying element here, it is typing. Okay, and all those requests it internally sends. We'll talk about this XHR later. Okay, but for now, my test is passed. I can see here in 7.67 seconds. If I want to rerun, I can rerun from here. But is this the right way to add the properties, like whatever we wrote here, get dot something, it dot g lif f lfy f something it gave? That's not the proper way to use, right? So what we can always use, we can try to use either uh, name or type. Okay, so that we should follow as we do in Selenium, right? So one second, team, what is happening with this? Is everyone seeing my screen flickering, or okay, give me 1 minute, let me fix this. Okay, I'll close this Cypress again, I'll open. Okay, all right, team, so now Visa, okay, let me run it again, and then we'll see. Now it is just entering the text, whatever we provided into the text box. Now I wanted to click on the some buttons. Okay, so let it run first. It's running. So after entering, I want to click here. Okay, so again I do the same thing and click Google search. Okay, I can copy. This is just for the beginners level. Okay, uh, now suppose we saw like cy.get we were doing. Let's do the different way, cy.contents. Okay, contents means you can identify a element which with some particular text or element properties like here Google search, so we can search with that. But for now, let's use the get, and then we'll so what it is happening with my system. Okay, so I can paste here and dot click. Okay, let me rerun my test. So it should type and click the submit button. It failed. Okay, so it says timed out trying click failed because this element. It may be not able to find out that. Okay, but that's fine. So do you see the difference? We see the errors in detail here on the this where we run on the dashboard. All right, this will fix later, but for now, what is the point? Let me explain few things here. When Cypress try to element and perform some action, it won't fail the test immediately. It will retry. So here it says timed out retrying cy.click. Okay, and see that the detailed error message here, because this element means wherever want to click is being covered by the another element. Okay, so because of this window, that element is overlapping. Okay, so I think we should click here, right? So let me uh, again click here and now try to click. Let me see if this works. uh, that's the benefit of Cypress, where debugging is so much easy without any other mechanism what we do in Selenium or any other tool like handling errors and logging the details. Displays in detail in the dashboard. Okay, so maybe I'll change this line, and what I'll do, okay, and dot click. Let me save this and let's try to rerun this test again. Okay, start typing and it's waiting for page load, and it clicked. Okay, so see, I did not provide anywhere like how much time it should wait before clicking or that's button when it appears to click. Okay, it automatically waited for that much time and it clicked. Okay, and do you see another advantage of using Cypress? Whenever you mouse over, you see what is happening on this page. Okay, so here it will click. See, it's here you see this every line of you can mouse over and you can see what is happening. Okay, so that is another benefit and debug. And if something got failed, it will highlight where it got failed exactly and what is the exact reason. Okay, all right team, so that was the basic element interaction, and this way we can, but team, I would say these are not the best practices to use it. Just to get started. That's why I'm showing from the Cypress. But always use try to use either your CSS. Okay, CSS would be better, or some proper element identification, because this may get changed and your test will fail in future. But we are fine now. Okay, so now the another thing is we have to validate our response. Sorry, saying response. When we clicked, it searched this one, right? So how we should validate? Let me click here uh, and identify this element, copy to clipboard. Okay, and then let me paste it here. So okay, so this is it will query the results, means it will look for the Cypress, will look for the element, this element, and then how I can validate or assert something. So there is a should. Okay, so should what it will do, it will, we can provide it has a different uh, number of uh, uh, things to validate here. So these are some inbuilt a certain kind of things you have. Okay, so I want to verify have text. Okay, there are various other things also you can try, but I want to try this. And what should be the value? Okay, so I can provide like what we are getting here. Just let me see. We are saying it is, we are getting JavaScript end-to-end testing framework. Okay, so let me provide JavaScript end to end. Okay, that's it. Let's see what happens. So let me save and I go to Cypress again and let me rerun. Okay, it's trying to click, and now see the assert at the end of the uh, step, the last step, it is asserting. So what it says, expected to have text JavaScript end to end, but the text was JavaScript end to end testing framework. Okay, so let me put all the text. So this way it is showing assertion got failed. Okay, to make this, I think we need to put all this into in testing framework pipe symbol and Cypress.io. Okay, let me put that and then we'll see into in testing framework pipe symbol Cypress.io. Okay, I save this and I'll rerun my test again. Let's see this time what happened to assertion. Okay, now the you can see the green uh, assertions. It means test uh, assert is passed, and expected and actual text is the same value, have the same values. Okay, and my test also got passed. Okay, and if I mouse over, I can see where it is highlighting. All right, so these are some basic element interaction we saw. Asserts how it failed, how it will look like when it passed, how it will look, uh, all those things we discussed. Let's get introduced with uh, Mocha. Okay, so what is the benefit of Mocha? Uh, we have seen like how we use with work with TestNG or JUnit. Okay, All right, so what Mocha helps? Okay, so Mocha, uh, so all these things, whatever to do we did, that is done. Let's uh, talk about Mocha. Okay, so Mocha, it provides different ways to organize our test. Okay, so it provide two things. It provide it and describe. Okay, so it whenever you write with it, okay, that Mocha will understand you are writing for a test. Okay, as we did here, right? We start with it. So Mocha understand like this is a test. Okay, test. And another thing is describe. Okay, so how to group your test logically. Okay, so suppose there are some login test cases, then there is a uh, some other features related test cases. So if you want to group them logically, to group test logically, okay, we use this describe. Okay, the way both are written are looks exactly same as we saw it, right? How we write it, function name, and this syntax for describe also is very much similar to it. Okay, but uh, under the describe, okay, we can write multiple test. Okay, so let's see this now. What I can do in the same test, what I can do, I can write describe. Okay, and search text. Okay, this is the function uh, name by which we will group, or you can say this is a feature name which by which we want to group our test. Okay, so Google has the search, a basic search, which we see on the home page. By that we I want to group test. Okay, now in the same way, like we write uh, it. Okay, the same way I can write here, and we are done. Now what I can do, I can copy and then I can write here. Okay, so this way, let me copy it. This is first test. Okay, now I can write second test here. uh, Let me correct the name of the test method. Okay, so search, sorry, I can write here search Cypress. And here suppose another test I want to validate just for demo purpose, search Selenium. Okay, WebDriver. So here I can say Selenium WebDriver that I want to search. All right, and here we essentially, I think it will be failed first time, so that's fine. But you see, under describe, I put two test methods. First is search Cypress, and second search Selenium. So this way, describe help us to group logical test case together. Now I can save this. I can go to my Cypress and I can rerun this. Now you see the first test case is running, That's I search Cypress. And another test we have, that is search Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this one is get passed and one is failed because of that assertions we have. All right. So that's how describe help us to group together and run the test. So suppose uh, this is search text. Next time we can have some other functionality we can group together, and it will display here, and all the test we can logically divide into the groups. So that's how uh, that describe and it works in Cypress. Now, you see here, if you see, every time we are writing, we are opening a browser, okay, uh, in each test case or test script, and then we are performing things. But that is not a best practice, right? We should, I think we should take it out, and because every time we are opening Google and searching something, so it should go to the uh, it should not be in the each test, right? It should be a separately, or we can manage. Okay. So in this case, what I can just let me copy this. Okay. And I can go here. So team, people who have knowledge on test ng or JUnit, uh, how we do. So suppose we want to uh, execute uh, some preconditions before running each test. So there are some annotations, right? We use like before each test and before test, right? So similar way, we have before each in Mocha. Okay, this also works in the same way. We can define this way. Okay, now I want to open google.com before running each test. Okay, now I have, so I can delete from here, and also I can delete from here. Okay, so now what it will do, before running each test, it will open the google.coms, and that's why uh, that code readability becomes more uh, useful, and that is also we achieved best practices. Okay, let me save, and I can rerun this. So see, first it ran before each. Here also before each running, and then uh, other test steps are getting executed. All right, team. So uh, that's how we can use before each. Okay, so there are a similar way we saw here before each. Team, you can ask any question. Pre um statements, I write in this way, statements will be executed before each test. Okay, so similar way, other annotations also we have. Okay, uh, that is before, we have after, and after each also. Okay, so before, what it will do before running any test, it will be executed. Before running any test, statements whatever you have in this will be executed. Okay, uh, similar way, the after running any test, statements will be executed, and the same similar with the after each. So after which will just as before each, it is running before the test and it will run after each test. Okay, let me see if you have any question. Okay, you want to share your screen. Okay, we'll at the end of this, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, we'll talk about it, Swati. So I'll just write the statement so that it will be clear for you. Statements will be executed after each test. Okay, so based on your requirement, you can use this, as we used this before each, similar before and after we can also. Quickly, let's talk about two more things which I wanted to discuss before we go for the question answer. Uh, how to exclude test. Okay, so while running, I want to exclude few tests from this, whatever the test file I have here. So I don't want to execute this, the second one, by any region. Okay, so what I can do, suppose from this I want to only run the first test. Okay, so if you write this way, it dot only, it will be only the executed this test. The second test will not be executed. So let's see. So the first test is running. Okay, and that's it. So we see we have two test cases, two test scripts, but with only this, what we used here, it executed the only the first test or whatever test we want to execute. Okay, all right. So that way you can exclude test. Similar way, suppose I uh, okay, so with it you can use this. Okay, only uh, to run, and suppose how to skip few tests from test file. Okay, so we can use it dot skip. Okay, so suppose I don't want to execute this first test, so I can say skip. So this test will be skipped, and other test, whatever test we have, that will be executed. So let's see, this time it should run the second test. So see, this search Cypress is skipped, and the second search Selenium WebDriver uh, getting executed. All right, and it failed also. So that's at very high level of Mocha to just get started. So you can practice this whatever we discussed today. All right, team. Let's